Wow, here we are again. It's Brother Peter with tidbits from the Word. This morning, for a few minutes, we're going to be in the book of Ecclesiastes. A little history about the book of Ecclesiastes. It was written by the man that had the claim of being the wisest man in the world in his period of time. And his wisdom was the wisdom of the world. Not necessarily the wisdom of God, but the wisdom of the world. Now, there is good wisdom in the world, and there is bad wisdom, but all the wisdom of the world cannot be related in a big sense of the word to the word righteousness. What may be good may not be righteous. It's a good thing that we have rain, but that's not a righteous thing. It's a good thing we have sunshine, but that's not a righteous thing. It's a good thing we have night so that we can sleep and rest, but that's not a righteous thing. And there's a lot of good things that are not righteous things. And then there are a lot of bad things. They're not bad to you, maybe be bad to me or bad to you, but be good to the next person. It's good to have rain, but if I'm a painter and I'm going to go paint a house on Tuesday and it rains on Tuesday, it's not a good thing for me that it rained. Yes, it's a good thing it rained, but it's not good for me. It broke my schedule. Now, Solomon did things that were right in his own eye. Did things that he felt that the wisdom that he had was right for him and the people. Physically speaking, in the way of the world, the wisdom that he had carried him to great riches and great wealth. But by the way, he was very unwise, his own self, that he didn't listen to the own wisdom that he passed on. So he gets down to the place where he's ready to die. And here he comes, he's at the end, the summation of his life. And he writes this little book, Ecclesiastes. And he writes it from the wisdom of his head, from the world, and he sees that he has made a great error in his life, as wise as he was. One of the unwise things he did, he involved himself with many, many, many women from many, many countries, many places, many different dialects, many different gods. By doing this, he ends up pleasing these ladies by saying, if I can have you, you can bring your God to my country. And you can worship your God. I'll let you set up a place over here on the other side of the castle. You can build a place for your God. And so he lets these ladies do this. Well, he decides one day, I want to go out with this one of my wives tonight, and I'm fixing to go see her. And she says, well, Mr. Solomon, I know that I'm your wife, but by your permission, I brought my God over here with me. If I go with you tonight, you must come with me first and worship my God, and we'll have a little seance with my God, and then, well, we'll go out and have an evening, whatever you'd like to do. Well, he had 900 of those wives. He could pick one every 3 years and have to go follow her God. So he goes out with her and follows her God. He broke all the spiritual rules of life. He broke the godly rules of life and kept the worldly rules. And the worldly rules were opposite from godly rules. He could have been happiest man on earth had he had one wife, raised one family, been the happiest man on earth. How many children do you think that Solomon probably fathered? I don't know if it's listed in the annals of the Bible or the annals of history, but it must have been thousands, maybe more than thousands, multiple thousands. And it may have been 100,000, but he reprocreated many, many children. Look, let's get in the book, chapter 3, and look what he says here. To everything there is a season. Wow. Did he come up with a good statement? To everything there's a season. Wow. Just look how short the seasons are of the year. 3 months, 3 months, 3 months, 3 months. 4 seasons, 12 months. Bang, 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 bang. Gone. Poof. Just like that. Winter comes in, winter goes out. Summer comes in, summer goes out. Spring comes in, spring goes out. Fall comes in, fall goes out. What do we see in those 12 months? We see new birth. We see birth come on the scene. The birth of a tree. The birth of grass. The birth of the birds. The birth of the bears come out of the den in the spring. And the birth of many things. We see the birth of people. We see new births. And then the next season comes along and we see a shedding of that new birth. Shedding the leaves. Fall comes in. Here we had spring. Now we have fall. Now those leaves fall off this little bitty tree. This little bitty brand new tree. And we see another season come in. And we see it's set dormant for a while through the winter. And then the summer came, first the spring and then the summer. And the summer put the leaves out, and then of course the fall took the leaves off, and then it says dormant again. So we see these 4 seasons played out here. All right. And a time to every purpose under the heaven. There was a time for every purpose under the heaven. God made seasons for a reason. He shows us that our life is like a vapor. It's like the 4 seasons. We're born. And when we're born into the earth until we're a few years old, we're like an orange tree. You get an orange tree to grow and be an orange tree. I understand. I don't know because I'm not a botanist and I don't understand everything, but I do understand that it's several years before an orange tree will yield fruit. And it's going to be several years, and a man is born, and it's going to be 4 or 5 years down the road before he starts being a productive child and doing things like kindergarten style, where he starts learning. 2 and 2 is 4. And now he's beginning to put off some of his playtime and use some intelligence. He was completely in the hands of his mother and father originally. Now he's starting to get some intelligence. It's like the newborn baby Christian. He's got to get in the Bible, and he's got to learn for himself. In the beginning, he goes to Sunday school church, and people tell him, and they tell him, and they tell him. But then it comes a day when he needs to pick the Bible up for himself, and he needs to start reading it and learn what it says for him personally. And this is where we're going to go in a few seconds here. We're going to go to another excerpt, and we're going to talk about the Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and what it really says for the man now who has stepped in to the Word of God, stepped into life,